Welcome to the 24th round of WTSS Season 7. We're at the most historic event on the schedule. You want to talk a crown jewel? We'll give you a crown jewel. Le Mans has played host to the 24th round of every season so far in the entire 7-season history of WTSS, and has played host to what I would consider to be the crown jewel event of the series. Not only is it the 24th round of the season at Le Mans, but it is 24 grueling laps around a track that is over 8 miles long. And it is crucial to get out on track as fast as possible to start setting times, because even the outlap is going to be about 4.5 minutes long. The session is 20 minutes long versus the normal 15 that we've seen on most road courses, on every other road course on the calendar. These drivers will get an extra 5 minutes of buffer time to get out there and start setting times. It's one of the last double points events of the season, but probably one of the races that deserves to be double points the most of them all. The two chicanes on the Mulsanne Straight are incredibly difficult braking zones in these cars. We have seen many drivers come to blows with their competitors there throughout the years. But we've seen many incredible lead changes as well into those corners in the past. So you see Mitchell Carter rocking a very, very reminiscent livery of Team Boss Ben Dover's heroic victory at Le Mans 3 seasons ago, in his only career victory to date.
Can they repeat that magic?
I don't know. Another thing to note about France is that it is the only country on the entire WTSS calendar that has banned alcohol advertising. And so sporting events cannot have alcohol advertising of any kind. That includes this event. And so you see William Duncan rocking a Monster Energy livery rather than the Beast Unleashed that we're used to seeing on his car. Very unusual to see that livery on there. There's one other car out here that is affected by this, and it's Kyle Bichelia rocking a Heineken 0.0 car, their alcohol-free variant. Very blue, and if you're watching the race and you're looking for that classic Heineken black and green car, you're not looking for the right car this weekend.
Now I'm not one to be a snitch, but that kind of seems like a loophole.
Oh, it absolutely is, but it's better than the sponsors threatening to pull out, I would assume.
That is also a good point.
All 40 cars have exited the pits before we've even hit the 3.5 minute mark in this session. They're all eager to get out there to start and set times around this absolute behemoth of a racetrack.
Tamura is absolutely alone here.
Yep, Tamura's all the way out in the Porsche curves.
I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, considering the draft down the Mulsanne is going to be so strong.
Ryan Reed, championship leader, has somehow managed to escape yet another race, pulling an advantage. He now is at a 47-point lead over new second-place points sitter Tristan Wilhoit. But with this being a double points on offer event, there are a whopping 11 drivers within 108 points of the championship lead that all theoretically have a chance of leaving this race with the points lead, which is a remarkable stat to say, but it is 100% true, as Yuki Tamura begins the first timed lap of this 20-minute session.
And you see why we added that extra 5 minutes. We are already down 5 minutes.
Yep, we're at 15 right now, which means we would be at 10 minutes to go right now which would only give some drivers, especially guys like Jeffrey Finn guy at the back, maybe 2 laps to set a time. That extra 5 minutes is a buffer, but it's not a big buffer. You still have to get out there on the racetrack pretty hastily. That right there, that right-hander heading onto the Mulsanne is one of the most difficult corners in all of WTSS. We have seen numerous occasions in the past. Drivers who had it absolutely signed, sealed, and delivered that they were going to get a good result here, and they absolutely threw it away by going too wide on the exit onto the Mulsanne and slapping the guardrail, damaging their cars.
Yeah, that wall on the exit of Tetra Rouge, very... It can bite you, just like the final chicane at Montreal. That is a...
Very much so.
It really washes you in there.
Now Finn guy has just approached the Porsche curves now, as Yuki Tamura is entering the second of the 2 Mulsanne chicanes.
And you can see Hu Jian, the second person out, just got out of the first Mulsanne.
Yep. And there is still title hopeful Mitchell Mark after a really rough showing last weekend at Monza. The third guy on the racetrack. And the final group of cars, I have noticed that the last 2 cars that came out onto the racetrack were the Finn guy Saitomi cars. Both Roberto Crown Jr. and Jeffrey Finn guy will be the last 2 cars to start their first push lap. But it really looks like James Gibson is struggling to get up to speed here, as was to be expected with the Procrastination Alliance cars. But it doesn't look like Brandon Crasta particularly has any speed either starting his lap.
It could possibly be that the 2 are trying to reach each other, just like Fingai Saitomi.
I guess so. It'll be an interesting balance between teams that have chosen to, over the season, to curate a good handling race car versus a good straight line race car. Because I think right there is already proof enough that the Roush Racing Enterprise cars, they mostly have had all of their successes on the short tracks this season, but have found some marginal success out on the road courses. They have a really good setup when it comes to their team's cornering abilities. A lot of their chassis development has been very focused on the cornering aspect, and I think that is a huge part as to why Ryan Reed has been so successful this season. That even though road courses are not his best skill, the team itself sort of has cars that are good on road courses, and so it can definitely he's definitely been able to compensate for that.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting, considering like Le Mans definitely does have aspects of cornering needed. For example, Porsche curves right here, but it is very much a straight line heavy track.
And then the Ford chicanes at the end of the lap. These are incredibly difficult in these stock car touring cars. Yuki Tamura comes across the line. Our benchmark to set is a 4-minute 10.981. I'm surely telling you that is not going to be the pole time, but I have no idea what will actually be the benchmark to beat come later in the session, once everybody has set at least one push lap. 11-3 for the Season 2 champion, Hu Jian. How about Mitchell Mark? 4:13.11. So you're going to see a huge disparity in lap times around here.
Yeah, mainly because this track is so long.
Yeah.
A second is something around a 10th on most other tracks.
Absolutely. DeMax is going to come across the line with Ryan Reed right behind. Has Reed caught a cheeky toe off of him? No. Neither driver is able to set even close of a time. Now Daniel Voiles goes to the top.
Voiles goes to the top.
5. McLennan, 12-1. 12-1 for Takeda, 12-7 for Figueroa. Mitchell Carter, 4:17.9. That's definitely not where you want to be out here. Innes with a 4:13. Same with Teskard. Curtis in the 413s. Look at this cluster back here. Jake Stevens might be holding some of these guys up. Top of the board, Chanarong Wongsuwat. 409.6. So we are in the 409s now already. 411.7 for Duncan.
Nearly an entire second ahead of Voiles there.
Huge lap, and you have to imagine that might have been picking up some toe from this massive group ahead of him.
It's definitely going to be.
11.1 for Chris Dodd, puts him 4th quickest. How about the Scott Roush and Sebastian Van Dalen group here? 12.6. 11.3 for Van Dalen, goes 5th quickest. Sean Angel pops it into 7th with a 11.6. Ryan Reed's first lap now starting to look not impressive at all comparatively to his title rivals at the moment. Patrick Smith and Aiden Shepard didn't look like a great final chicane for Smith. Comes across the line, but it's still an 11.9, top 10 time on the board. And our final 5 drivers to come across the line here. Nugroho puts down a 4:10.4, second fastest for the 45. Krasta puts down a 14.7. Gibson a 12.0. Same with Crown. And an 11.6 for Finguy, goes 9th quickest. That's where we stand right now. With 1 lap under our belts here in Le Mans qualifying. With the top 10 being Wongsuwat, Nugroho, Voiles, Tamura, Dodd, Van Dalen, Ji-Yun, Angel, Finguy, Duncan. Title contenders now, let's compare. Jeff McLennan finds himself in 15th position right now with a 4:12.1. You see Tristan Wilhoit, second in the championship, is 21st with a 4:12.4. Mitchell Mark in 26th with a 4:13.1. Reigning champion Mark Nutt, 4:13.6. Look at that. Ryan Reed is 31st with that 4:13.6 of his. So absolutely they're going to want to find a better time than that. And then all the way at the back, Shrimp Engritz and Chris Louviere, 33rd and 35th. Those are, some of these drivers are absolutely going to have to find a turnaround on this second push lap. But the question is, who has pushed their stuff too hard and won't be able to who won't be afforded the opportunity to improve? Because if you over push the tires, sliding them around too much, even if you still have fresh tires and there's still room for them for you to improve a lap time, it can really just come away from you because you're just sliding around on overheated tires. Tamura's going to come to the line again. You'd hope that she can find an improvement now that she's got her tires fully up to the temperature window, and does. It's a 4:10.4 to 3rd quickest. So we've seen drivers like Chanarong Wongsuwat be able to pull off an amazing lap using some cheeky slipstream, but it also shows that getting out in clean air with no traffic can also be a huge asset, as Hu Jian goes 5th quickest, as some of these drivers really would like to have some laps without being impeded. But someone like a Mitchell Mark, he needs a bit of a tow right now. 4:12.8 is the best he can muster. That's 25th fastest.
Yeah, it is definitely a balancing act. You know, get the tow, but don't get held up.
Foyle's way overshot that last part of the chicane.
Yeah, I think Hu Jian did as well.
Ryan Reed has improved to a 4:12.2. That's 18th fastest. Voiles puts it back onto the front row with a 4:10.0. An 11.3 for Takeda. Goes 9th quickest with an 11.0 for Figueroa, going 6th fastest. Is there any solace for Mitchell Carter currently? No, he is still last by over a second. And he's holding up the multitude of drivers behind him. And Jake Stavanaugh has lost an engine in qualifying, and the 80 car comes to the pits, and that's probably session over for the Roush Racing Enterprises driver, who comes into this race 6th in the championship. One of the dark horses for the title is done before he even has a chance to set his second time.
Yeah, it's just about 6 minutes. You're not going to get back out there.
.410.7 for Chris Dodd. Engrit's still only in a 4:14. Sean Angel, 4:11.3. That's a good improvement. He goes 13th. Shepard and Smith once again coming around. .10.6 for Shepard. Goes 6th fastest. Nugroho did a 10.4 on his first lap. Could he crack into the 4.9s? He does. 49.706, nearly usurping Wang Zawad at the top of the board. Just under a 10th behind. And I think Fingai Saitomi dropped the ball massively because they are now stuck behind the struggling Dodge cars of James Gibson and Brandon Krasta out on the racetrack right now.
They're both battling against each other.
I think Gibson's faster and he wants the track position.
I mean, at the same time, he already did.
All of these drivers are going to get
behind.
Everybody in the field will get to do a 4th lap except Fabio Vitabassa, who might have been involved in an incident at some point on his lap just now. Has something
Definitely
happened to the
quite a while
0-2?
behind.
Oh, he pitted.
Oh, he came in.
At the end of his first lap, he pitted because he hit the wall entering the Mulsanne through Tetra Rouge. He's got he's got a big old dent on the driver's side door. So that this will be his first real push lap of the session now. And even that lap where he was taking the pit entry lane still beat Mitchell Carter's best lap. That is rough for the Bendover Racing Squad team. No way. Have they gotten Stavanaugh out in time? I don't know. It's going to be borderline. It's going to be within 5 seconds of being able to make it or not.
Yeah. And that also depends on the time they're going to get for standby.
Yep, indeed. Yuki
Tamura
Tamura
coming in.
begins her final push lap of the session. 4:10.409. It's an improvement, but it's not much of an improvement. She will stay 4th fastest. Now, this is the point where drivers who have taken good care of their tires can still manage to squeeze some time out. But
wait,
now,
is that damage on Hujion's car?
That is Hujion with damage on the left-hand side. She's still pushing on. Does not improve, but nearly still. And continues on for her 4th lap. I think Hujion has met the guardrail at Tetra Rouge as well. Mitchell Mark does not look like he kept the tires within a good window. He does not improve on his 3rd lap. And I'm noticing Ryan Reed has been overtaken by Daniel Voiles on this lap. The 13 car looks incredibly fast this session, but has he been held up by traffic to stop him from improving? Yes, the traffic will stop him from improving. McLennan across the line. This is an important moment. Can't do anything. Neither can Figueroa nor Takeda. So we're seeing small improvements from some drivers out here, but the drivers who are improving, not improving very much. Test car, though, improves by 2 seconds after getting past Mitchell Carter on his most recent push lap. Constantine jumps up to 15th with an 11.5. Frazier goes up with a 13.0. Louviere, 12.1. Nutt, 11.5. Stevens, 13.2. Logan Hill cracks the top 10 with a 4:10.7. So some people are finding times out there, but it's mostly drivers who really have not put a lap together yet that are really finding the times. Angritz improves but stays 37th. So unusual for the Hamilton Autosport driver, as Angel goes 12th fastest. How about Aiden Shepard, who was able to crack up into 6th fastest last time around? Can he crack even higher up the order? It's faster time, but it's... Yes, he beats Alex Pignaco. He goes to 5th fastest. Nugroho across the line. It's not an improvement. He does not jump ahead of Wang Zawat. 30 seconds remain before standby begins.
Where is Stavanaugh?
None of these drivers back here improving. Vita Bassa might not even get to the line to start another lap. But certainly Stavanaugh will not.
He's still in the Porsche curves. Yeah,
Yep.
No, 15 seconds. Can't make it. This is going to be his final lap.
Stavanaugh will not set a time. And this will be Vitabasa's only fully fledged push lap on the entire session. Time has expired. Standby begins. Anybody who has started a lap will get to finish it. Everybody else will have to just settle with what they've got. Vitabasa, 4:12.0 improves by 3 seconds to go 23rd. That was a very important lap from the 0-2. And of course, we know Jake Stavanaugh. Alex Bignacco has had an off. He's in the pits. Or has he just come in? He's just come in. He's got damage on the right-hand side.
Now, Tamura's in the Porsche curves.
Yes, she is.
Trying to... Oh, is that a depression?
I think Tamura has caught the barrier somewhere while trying to push really hard.
Yep, that is damage.
I'm not sure where that could have been, because that's the right-hand side of the car.
Yeah, that's the right hand.
Was it possibly at one of the Mulsanne chicanes? Well, we'll find out. We'll find out if it was one of those moments where you're just pushing like hell and you still find an improvement even though you'd mowed the wall down, but we'll see. The tires are going to be screaming in agony at this point on their 4th lap around this 8-mile road course. Cross the line for Tamura. It is an improvement, but she doesn't beat Voiles and stays 4th fastest. Tamura improved on every lap she ran all session. Hujian in 10th fastest right now. 1.4 seconds separating the top 10. Can she go in any higher? No, still another 4:11.1, but not enough to crack into the improvement range. Mitchell Mark coming across start finish. What does he put down? It's an improvement. It goes to 30th fastest. So we're seeing drivers still have the potential to find time here. Oh, Voiles, Voiles always sends it so hard to that last chicane. I almost wonder if he's finding time by doing that. It's a 4:10.3. It's no improvement. He stays 3rd fastest. DeMax finds no time. Neither does Ryan Reed. How about McLennan and company? McLennan, nothing. Nor does Figueroa. Nor does Takeda. Teskar, now 2 laps removed.
This time.
Now 2 laps removed from passing Mitchell Carter. It's a 4:11.2. It's 12th fastest for Teskar right at the end. Wangzawat, nothing. Nor does Constantine. Carter stays last. Nobody back here improving. I saw a car in the pits bailing off. It's Elijah Innes.
Yep.
Kyle Bichelia does not find any more time in it. Daniel Giroux stays 2nd to last on the back row of the grid. Tristan Wilhoit, it will qualify 30th at best for today's event. Scott Roush can't find anything. Sean Angel finds an improvement, goes to 12th fastest with a 4:11.1. How about Aiden Shepard? He improved marginally the last lap to just jump ahead of Alex Bignacco. Can he find anything more? Maybe get ahead of Yuki Tamura if he's got any tires left. No, he barely matches his time. Patrick Smith, no improvement. Arnie Nugroho, one of the big contenders. 4:09.8, it's not enough. He will not usurp Wangzawat. And I don't expect an improvement from these last 4 cars. Crown Jr. goes 23rd. Finn Guy goes 14th. But that seals it. And our pole sitter at Le Mans, at Circuit de la Sarthe, of all people, the driver that nobody could have seen in the first few races of the season, Chonarong Wangzawat for Rocket Atkinson Racing completes the trio of teammates at that team that have scored at least 1 pole this season. And the Seat factory team have something to celebrate finally for the first time in what feels like 15 races in the WTSS. Wangzawat is on pole for the biggest crown jewel event on the entire calendar with rookie Arnie Nugroho alongside him. It's Wangzawat ahead of Arnie Nugroho, Daniel Voiles, Yuki Tamura, Aiden Shepard, the top 5. Alex Bignacco, Logan Hill, Chris Dodd, William Duncan, and Huji Yan, the top 10. Then it's Figueroa, Angel, Teskar, Finguy, and Van Dalen, the top 15. The rest of the running order is as follows. Championship leader Ryan Reed and championship second place Tristan Wilhoit start on the same row together in row 15, 29th and 30th. Sean Angel, third in points, has found a 12th place qualifying time. Fourth in points, Chris Louviere has 26th place. Fifth in points, Jeff McLennan is only good enough for 25th. Sixth in points, Jake Stavanaugh, even with that engine failure, still outqualifies his championship leader teammate in 28th. Yuki Tamura, 7th in points, finds 4th fastest. That is a huge moment for a double points event for her. Shrimp Engritz, 8th in points, looked off all session, starts 38th place. 9th in points, Mitchell Mark in the 28 is only good enough for 31st. 10th in points, Alex Constantine did find a good time in 17th. And the last driver who mathematically could leave this weekend with the point lead, Kyle Bisceglia, matches his car number in 27th fastest. But after 20 minutes around this hallowed grounds at Circuit de la Sarthe in France, it's Chonarong Wongsuwat who's on the pole for the first time in his WTSS career here at Le Mans. Let's get to the race.